Hey guys, before I get really into this, I need to say this week is going to be, well, actually the next 3 weeks are going to be kind of hit or miss for me. I hate to do it, but I'm going to be staying with my daughter in the evenings. She's still recovering from, having had a little surgery. So in any case, my schedule, because of the time change, has kind of pushed a little bit. And normally what I would do is do my video and then do my editing and then upload and get the video. And the issue now is because of the time change, it's getting dark and I do not drive when it's dark outside. So I'm going to probably be doing a video, and then the next day, if I don't get time to edit, because all of my editing is done on a huge computer, I don't have a laptop. So it'll be like do the video and try to edit and maybe upload. And if not, then it's just going to be a 3-day process of doing a video. So I apologize. I hope you'll hang in there with me. And of course, if you have any questions, I can always answer questions. So you can find me at my Instagram, which is Laurie Ann Eggleston, and you can find me on Facebook, which is Laurie's Heirloom Sewing. So just throw an @ symbol in front of either one of those and you should be able to find me. And I'll put that link in the description box down there below this video. But I wanted to do a couple of things. The projects that we've been working on are the skirt, which I did do another mock-up in a slightly larger size, and I took it over to her house yesterday and we tried it on, and it is a lot too big. But interestingly, all of the parts and pieces are in the right place. So I think what I need to do is look at the construction process for the facing and move the front dart over. That's what that little mark right there is, because the side seams were where the side seams need to be, and the back darts were where the back darts need to be. So I think it's the front piece that was off a little bit. I think I made it just a little bit too big because I was basing it off of how big I made the back. But the back is a perfect fit. So I'm going to adjust the two front pieces only, and I'm going to pull them off of this mock-up. So when I get to that, we'll look at that and how that's possible. The second thing I wanted to talk about is, I purchased this pack of magnetic snaps. I've never used these before. I have installed one, and you might remember this project if you watched that video. This is a glasses case that I use to carry 2 pairs of glasses. I have my sunglasses in the main part, and then the little one is for my prescription, just regular glasses. So that fits in there, and then it fits in this case, and then my sunglasses fit right in there. So I have both sets of glasses in one case. I did use this, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. This little thing right here I made additionally, this little lobster claw, and these are really inexpensive. I cannot honestly give a good review of this. I purchased an entire package, and there's matching D-rings and these, and they're so flimsy. They don't fall apart, but this part where they connect is very flimsy, and it's hard. Maybe it's just me, but I can't I have to hold it with two hands to get this part to open. Like I have to situate it in my hand, hold it, and then pull back on the little trigger pull right there. It's not a one-handed operation for the most part, unless I can somehow manipulate, ouch, it's stabbing me, manipulate that. It's not easy, and what I'm looking for is one that this stays. It doesn't swivel. That is, to me, that makes this absolutely useless. But I have used them. I've got one on my lanyard that I use for my keys. But it doesn't really ever come unattached. It's connected to the D-ring on the other side. And then my keys are just, you know, on the D-ring part. This just closes it around my neck, and then that just stays like that all the time. But anyway, I finally got this hooked onto my belt loop this weekend, and it was kind of nice having access to both my sunglasses and my regular glasses. However, that being said, the snap, after a couple of opening and closing, this side right here just pulled out, and I had to push it back in and then you know, smack it with something heavy, which I had access to in the garage, but you know, you have to do like that. So I was reading about these, and you can see where the magnet pull is pretty strong, and it will just pull right out of the fabric. And my hands were wet. I was doing yard work. So I'm not sure if it's the installation, if I, you know, need to do something that I did not do. I've read a couple of kind of a how-to / review / do this, don't do this kind of magnetic snap, two-prong. This set has two, not four. But I think the thing that right here, that I need to do that I did not do is, let's see, they're all the same size. That was the other thing. I thought maybe some might be different size, but they are all the same. And by size, I mean this part that attaches magnetically to this part. Some I've seen online are a little bit deeper, and I don't know if that makes a difference. But each of the two pieces has two prongs, and those two prongs slip through the fabric and then through one of these on each of these. But I have seen that some people are using cardboard, which I don't know if I want cardboard in a project like that. So my thought was, what would happen if you put one of these down on your fabric, then you put this through, then you put one of these on the other side of the fabric, so that you have the on the fabric you have, I don't know what this is called, but we'll just call it the doohickey. So you have this doohickey thing on top of the outer fabric, and then you put one of these on top of that, which of course you would have had to have cut holes in the fabric, which obviously, and then this goes through the fabric, and then you have another doohickey on top of that, and then you bend out the prong. I'm not sure if that would make a difference or not, but the next time I do a snap, I will probably attempt that method. I don't know. The other issue is I did not have the snaps when I made the glasses case, so I wasn't really able to attach the snap. It's starting to pull through again. But I wasn't able to attach the snap so that it wouldn't be visible on the outside, and that's why my glasses case has this little band around the top. That's another completely different issue. Okay, so that's kind of my, I can't really give it a review yet, because having not really applied them the way I would have applied them, and then maybe not using enough material, aka cardboard, I don't know. So that'll be another, we'll give it another try at some point. Let's see, and also just an FYI, I'm trying to keep the magnet away, that whole bag of magnets away from George. I don't know if that's still true, but when I first purchased my Bernina, it's a 1080 special, like over 20 years ago. The Bernina store people told me, do not get it near a magnet. If you have one of those magnets that you use to pick up pins, it's like it's got a handle and then it's a square or a rectangle, super strong magnet. They said don't put that next to your sewing machine. Don't put a magnetic pin holder next to your sewing machine. Just don't have a magnet near your sewing machine. So I'm keeping those away from my sewing machine. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to update you on is my sewing room closet, and we'll look at that in a minute. I've done a little bit more. I have a huge plastic bin that, I don't know what the size is, but it's very large, and it is almost full of books and patterns and smocking plates and silk ribbon embroidery plates and shadow embroidery plates and more books and more patterns. It's just jam-packed full, and I still have stuff in there from the shop that needs to go back out of this room. So I'm happy with the progress up to this point, and I've been able to basically consolidate all of the patterns that I plan to use into one bin that is this size. It is a Sterilite 16 quart. So there's the information, and I've just got them all. I think that's the right, no, maybe. No, actually, it's half this size. I take that back. So, but I plan to use this to put the patterns in, and we'll do that in a minute. That's why this is empty, because it was kind of packed full, and I've got, there's a few other patterns that I wanted to put in there. Plus I have another pattern coming, and I'm just, yeah, trying not to be, you know, too... I don't want a whole bunch of patterns taking up a whole bunch of room in my closet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, I can't give up my patterns. It's like I have to have them. So that's a whole separate issue. Okay, and then on this, I haven't been able to get anything done, but it's not because I haven't wanted to. It's just, it's like I'm craving chocolate. I want to work on this thing so bad, but I have to have correct lighting, and I have to be able to sit with my ham on my lap so that I can make these stitches look the way I want them to look. I don't want irregular stitching on this project. Now this project, on the other hand, I do want irregular stitching, and I'm almost done. I have, let's just do this real quick. I'm going to tip you down. Okay. I don't know why that light is on. It's kind of strange. Okay, so I have done all of this row, all of this row, and all of this row right here. So if you look at it, this has all been completed. The next row has all been completed. This row has all been completed. And this row, I have 2 on the very end. So that leaves me with 4 more squares to do. And I have made a decision about this particular project. I like it so much. But it's been fun to work on because I finally decided that the back of it is not the back of it. The back of it is going to be another internal layer. My thoughts are that I can either attach another piece of this. I have so much of it. Or I could put a different piece, like a muslin piece or something on the back. What that does is it adds another protection, another layer of protection for heat or cold or condensation on my dining room table, which to me, I can't get enough of that. So as a table topper, it will be very functional if I can just add another layer. So having decided that, made that decision, and you know, I am a huge advocate of MIW, make it work. For me, that's the best possible solution. I love the way the Home-Spun looks with the ticking. I think they just go hand in hand. So my other thought was, well, I could go with a different color ticking. And then I would have Home-Spun, Warm and Natural, ticking, Warm and Natural, and then ticking. And you talk about a super duper perfect layer for a dining room table. But I really want to get this done before Thanksgiving. And today is November 2nd of 2020. So I better get myself going. I think Thanksgiving is on the 27th this year, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, this has been just a fun project that I'm really enjoying. I'm almost out of floss, so that means I will almost be done. I'm taking these projects with me when I go over to my daughter's because they're portable, they're fun to work on. You know, even if you're in a situation where you don't have access to your sewing machine, if you have something, you know, that you can do that just requires some floss, a needle, and a pair of little scissors, I think that's the best kind of little project to work on. Which brings me to the other project that I was going to show you. I found, hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Once I get all this off of here, I'm going to press the piece of linen. Okay, there we go, excellent. And then I'm going to run a zigzag stitch all the way around. And then, having cleaned up my closet to the degree that it is now, and I can't really use the word cleaned because it's still a horrible mess, I ran across a bluebird design. I used to sell these in my shop, and as far as I know, this is the only one I have left. They were fun, they were interesting. I love the homey designs that I used to have. And believe it or not, this is a photograph that I'd done my best by Sandra White. This is how her designs would come to me. I loved them, they were great. And I'm going to do this one on this piece of linen. Now the instructions say that you need an 11 by 14 or larger piece of tea-dyed aged muslin, but I do think I can do this on the piece of linen that I have right here. I think it'll work just fine. So I'm going to open it up right now. Now this was from the late 1990s, back when I had my shop. So this would have probably been purchased in 1999. I do not see a date on here, but let's just open it up and see what we have. Okay, so this is the pattern right here. Just going to use this dull knife. The blade is away from me, but you have no idea. This thing wouldn't cut hot butter. Okay, there we go. Remove said staple. Alright, and then these are your instructions. It tells you you're going to do the entire thing with 3 strands of floss, and all of the French knots are just wrapped once unless specified otherwise on your pattern. Then you need, yeah, there's these little clay buttons, and I don't have those buttons. I used to have them in the shop. They were attached right here, if I remember correctly, and they have either fallen off or they've been used for something else. I may find them. They could very well be in that closet. But if I can't find the original clay buttons, there's always something. I can find charms or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would need 6 of something to put in here. Or, for that matter, using this little chart, I can look to see, maybe there's an indication of what colors they were. It just says clay buttons are sewn on as shown in the picture. And I could just do the stitching up here at the top and then do this little box. And then just embroider a little heart in each one of these in a different color to match. She says, as I stitch a sampler, I view it too as one of my children. I feel as though I must find each one a good home where it will be appreciated and loved. So each time you look at the gentle art of my handwork, take yourself back to that wonderful place in time where life seemed to be plain and simple. Accept this heartfelt gift from me to thee, knowing that I done my best. So, having found it and knowing that so many people in my shop way back when bought these, I know that, you know, at some point they've got to still be out there. This one is a bit Christmassy, which I kind of like. These look like holly leaves with little red berries. We have, you know, she's got the number of X's on her design for her grandchildren, but I could do, you know, I could do 4 for my grandpuppies. I probably will prepare my fabric, and that's just simply, I'm going to press it with my iron, get all the wrinkles out, and then I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and do kind of an open zigzag. I don't have pinking shears. Okay, and the next thing that I plan to do is undo. This isn't the right one. This is the smallest. Now I'm going to admit that I went ahead and purchased a bigger pattern. I found one. This is the pattern I'm using at present. It is Easy McCalls 7526, and it's in size 468. And I think what I need is something between an 8 and a 10. When the other pattern arrives, I'm going to compare my mock-up, which is completely all me, to this particular mock-up is. I did this by myself without the help of that. And I want to see what this looks like compared to that in between a size 8, because the pattern I bought is 8, 10, 12. piece 1. Okay. And then when I come back, I will remove the second piece. Okay guys, so I was going to just do this without filming it, and then I thought, you know, there's a couple of things about this project that I really do need to share with you in case it's information that you can use. One of them being, I'm going to spray this linen with my Mary Ellen's Best Press. I am not in any way sponsored by or affiliated with Mary Ellen's Best Press or any of the other Mary Ellen products. I don't have anything to do with any of that. I just feel like this is a good product to use, especially on a fully plant-based fiber like linen. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it. I'm going to do a light spray. I'm not going to saturate it like I would if I were using it on cotton. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to share with you, so let me bring you over here. Okay, so with this machine, I'm going to turn it off. And the reason I'm doing that is I want it to reset. It is computerized and it will reset. So I had set it up to do the zigzag on this, but I want you to see how I'm going to do that. So I've turned it on and it just basically defaults to a straight stitch. You probably can't see it, but that is what number 1 on this machine, this Bernina 1080, it's a straight stitch. It tells you to use the 0 foot. I am using the 0 foot. If I turn it just a little bit and do this, I don't know. In order for me to get this machine to do a longer than 5 stitch, straight stitch on my fabric, first of all, it's not going to, even though that red line is showing that, it's going to start out at 2. That's the default. And the reason that I know that is because that little light is lit up. So I'm going to take it all the way down to 0, and then I'm going to turn the dial all the way back up to 5. So now it's set to do a rather long stitch, which I will try to demonstrate on this scratch piece. Okay, so I don't know if you can make out the individual stitches. I have my thread a little bit too long in the back and it kind of got tangled up. It's not nesting, it's just I let that happen. Let me pull that out so you can see the back. The green may show up a little bit better than what's in the needle. Well, I'll just redo it. I'll just do it again. There we go. Okay. All right. So that is the green bobbin right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's 5. Between my thumbs is 5. Okay, so let me actually mark that. All right. So now I am going to use this plus sign right here. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just picked a random number. I could sit here and go to 35 if I wanted to. I don't know that it would actually go, that would make stitches, you know, huge like that. It would be kind of a waste. But between 5 and 10 sometimes I might do. All right, let's see. So that's where that was. Let's go over on the other side. I have pushed the plus sign 5 times. Okay. Okay, so there's this. Okay, don't lose it, don't lose it. Okay. All right, so this is the first set of 5 that I did. This is the second set of 5 that I did. And when I say 5, I mean this stitch right here. This was the original 5. This is 5 plus the addition of 5 pushes of this plus. So as you can see, it does make that a lot more expanded. So now I'm going to do the same thing with my zigzag. Let's see what happens now. Right here with this at 5, this up here at 5, it's the width. I've pushed it all the way across to number 5, and 5 times the expanded stitch. So that's pretty big. Now I'm going to click clear, and then I'm going to just do this 5 and this 5 up here. Let me fix it where you can see what I'm talking about. This right here, I have gone all the way over to 5. Okay, over there. And I'm all the way up here at 5. Okay guys, so I lost the footage of the zigzag stitch that I did along the edge of the linen. This is the zigzag that I did just to kind of hold the linen together. And I wanted an opportunity to at least present that. It looks pretty good, and it's been this way since yesterday. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, and this is what the zigzag looks like. I have decided that since I am kind of going back and forth between houses at the moment, taking care of my daughter and then coming home during the day and doing video and editing, I am going to take this with me over to her house to work on. And then I also had a question about the binding on this video. And I do have a video out there. It is specific to McCalls Fashion Accessories 8 Great Looks, 1 Easy Pattern, pattern number 2947, piece number 17. And that piece is the binding pattern piece that you will cut. It's a spiral cut that creates a bias binding. So if you're having an issue with that particular piece, or if you want to know how to cut a bias binding in that fashion, please take a look at that. I will try to remember to link it down below this video when I get this whole video uploaded. At the moment, it's looking like it's going to take me a little bit longer than I had anticipated, due to the fact that I am kind of bouncing between my house and her house. If you have any questions, as I've said, just drop a comment below this video. So it's video description box comments section. Feel free, please like and subscribe. It just means so much, and I love having every one of you join me on the days that I do videos. I have been pretty consistent, unfortunately. Like I've said before, this month is going to be a little off. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.